You can literally change any part of your life by mastering this one piece, decision making. And you all know as an entrepreneur that you've got to make a ton of decisions every single day. But before we jump into today's training on this live video, head over to my 4-part video training. It's called the wealthycoachacademylive.com/challenge. I'll put the link here above the video. If you want an in-depth kind of piece-by-piece process of how to create a portable, profitable coaching business online, you can check out my 4-part video series. You guys will love it. Okay, so when it comes to figuring out what's really holding you back, is this my ego? Is this resistance? Is this just not a good decision for me to do, right? We all know that, we should know that when we make decisions, this is actually this is how you take your power back. This is the process of really creating change in your life. The word desire in Latin means to kill off all other opportunities. So literally every time you make a decision to do something, to not do something, this is how you wield your power as a conscious creator. And we all know that, we need to get started doing things before we're ready. But how does that process actually happen? And huge questions, that I get all the time are, how do I know if I'm making the right decision? And I get that all the time. People are worried about, trying something and suffering the same kind of failure that they've experienced in the past, right? They go to try something new and the brain goes and starts, conjuring up, well, last time you tried that, this happened. So a fear of failure, or even a fear of success. For a lot of people, it's not just the emotions that come up around failing. It's the emotions that come up around, well, what if I get this right and I win? Then what? Or trusting your decisions. A lot of entrepreneurs have a hard time trusting their decisions and making decisions based on feelings, right? Your brain is kind of like a storehouse that remembers processes and things that happened in the past. So whenever we go to try something new, the brain goes back through and takes a swirl and says, okay, what do I know about the last time or the time I did something similar to this? And it makes sense, right? There's a lot of fear around making decisions. This is how you change your life. But so here's the point I want to bring up. Your ego is like this safety mechanism. And you unknowingly program this ego with this amount of money, this amount of visibility, this amount of love, this amount of responsibility is safe. And anything outside of that, not safe, holy smokes, can't do that. And this is where you start sabotaging yourself, or where resistance comes up. Even though you've decided to do something, you find yourself wasting time tootling around on Facebook instead of finishing your sales page or finishing your website or doing those videos or setting up your marketing systems. And it's really this like level of safety. What is safe and what is not safe that needs to get reprogrammed. So you have to change the programming. And the way that we do this is by creating new concepts of yourself, including I'm a badass decision maker, for example, or I'm really, really good at making decisions. I'm always making the best decisions for me, my family, my business, my friends, for example. Or, I trust myself, right? You can create that programming, that concept of yourself. And I'll share with you guys a personal story of mine here in just a minute. But before I do that, if you want an in-depth training on how to put your coaching program together, how to get clarity, how to move through your own internal blocks about charging what you're worth, setting up a very simple marketing funnel, head over to wealthycoachacademylive.com/challenge. Okay, so this topic of the ego tripping you out, it showed up today on a live Q&A that I did with our 10K in 30-day clients. And we teach a process here to women to begin sharing their story, right? Their authentic selling story, because your clients need to understand that you have been to the burning bush. You understand them. It's a rule 101 of marketing. People need to feel understood even before they will start listening to you and your marketing messages. So sharing your story in an authentic way, super important, but it also brings up a lot of resistance, because people are going to hear the story about you. I certainly had a ton of resistance writing my best-selling book, Take Your Power Back Now, a story I never wanted to share about surviving a relationship with a narcissist, doing my own personal healing work, and finally, that launching my business. But I had a ton of resistance. I never wanted to write that book. And it became a bestseller and launched a women's empowerment movement. So we teach our clients, what story do I tell? Which is the relevant one, or what pieces of my story are relevant? And today, some of our clients were like, I noticed I had so many gremlins. We call these, mindset, these kind of thieves in our mind, these old, outdated beliefs and stories that you may have told yourself. And we talked a lot about the resistance and the ego. And I shared a story when I first started really, cranking up the sales and really going for it and moving my income from $10,000 to $40,000 a month, $80,000 a month, $160,000 a month. There were years where I made $80,000 in a year. Shortening that curve to making $80,000 in a month. Oh my God, it's not safe. Holy smokes, the government's gonna get me. And I used to think my family's gonna fight, and they're gonna come after me. And all of these old stories, all right, really had to be remade, reprogrammed. And so I started making new concepts of myself. It's, I trust myself. I'm a winner. I'm always making the best decisions for me, my family, my friends, and my business. Anytime I would see myself waffling, it's safe for me to be really, really rich, and I am. Making this concept. And so the important part of making concepts of yourself is that you show up. You show up in a different state. You tell yourself a new story, it becomes a belief. Emerson said, principles give you peace, meaning work with the laws of creation. That should give you peace. And so when you create a new concept of yourself, it allows you to be in that state, and how you show up and behave is very different. So those were some of the affirmations, these I am affirmations made in present. This is a tip for you guys. You want to make these new concepts of yourself as in right now, I have this now. And the way that you impregnate your subconscious is through repetition, visualization, and feeling. Repetition, visualization, and feeling. You create a new concept, your subconscious accepts it with one of those three ways, and then it must express that belief. That's a law. That's a principle that gives you peace. And that's really, I know it sounds kind of oversimplified, and it's kind of boring, but that's really the process of manifesting anything that you want. By the way, if you want to get more in-depth, training on not just the mindset piece and the decision piece, but some of the key areas to help you grow your online portable profitable coaching business, head over to my website, wealthycoachacademylive.com/challenge. There's a link somewhere here around the video. If you click on that link, it will take you to 4 really cool videos. One of them is about getting clear on your authentic selling story. It's the first video, your ideal clients. One of the videos is about the 5 things you should never do as a coach, kind of 5 big mistakes to avoid. There's a great mindset kind of walkthrough of questions where you can start asking yourself to identify what are the limiting beliefs. And then our 10K and 30-day blueprint, kind of we walk you through the process of how it works. And to wrap it up, here's what we know, right? We know that decisions are what create change. This is how we wield our power as conscious creators to create change in our life. And if we have trouble making decisions, then we need to start mastering that inner conversation by creating new concepts of ourselves, right? New concepts of ourselves as somebody who's like a master decision maker, who is always making the best decisions, who's a winner no matter what. And that moving into that state of being is what will allow you to show up and fulfill the things that you say you want in your life. It's really, really kind of simplified, but really important. Keep being the rock stars that you are, and I'll see you real soon. Aloha.